Okay, so this is our third part of the lecture, and you can see that what we were left is this is where we have saved the data file. So let us go back to the do file and see what we have done. So this is where we were. So now I want to do a very simple thing. I was going to show you in two different ways. So this is where I have written things, but let's forget about it for now. Let's go here. Let's say I want to run a regression and my y variable is demand. So I said regression, reg, that's good for regression. Computer can, you can say regression full, but you can also say reg. So let me show it with regression. And I say demand and I say price. So when I do this, it's obviously not showing this. I think it is regress. I made a mistake. Regress, demand, price. So see what happens. It has done the regression. Demand is my y. So first variable always your y variable, and anything you write on the right after the first variable is your x variable. So this is like your y, this is x1. So it's a two variable regression at the moment. It has done the regression and it has shown the result. Here on the right hand side, if you remember, anytime you have this, for example, if you go back to this one, this was red 199 right here. So you can see that it's an unrecognized command because it says, well, I don't understand regression because it's not a command. But when I say regress, it said, oh, fantastic. I can also do the same thing as reg. I don't need the whole thing, regress, demand, price. So you realize that it comes up exactly the same way. Let's do a small trick and make sure that we understand. So let's say we say demand, and we instead of small d, I just use capital D. I run it and it's saying, look, demand not found. So you have to be careful about it. In STATA, every variable, every command is sensitive to case. So uppercase or lowercase, you should be careful about it. So let's now go back. So you realize that what I have done. I can run it using this. Let me explain this result a little bit so that we understand. So from your class, you have seen that anytime you do regression, you obviously have a coefficient y equal to a plus bx, if you remember. So this is your coefficient of the price, which is b, and this is your constant, which is your a. Remember the formula, standard error? They use the same formula to come up with the standard error. And they use the same formula to come up with the standard error of A. This is standard error of B, if you remember. Then your T statistics. What is the T statistics? It is B divided by standard error. So they got this. They got this. And this is what is showing probability. What it means that what is the probability? Remember that what you are looking at. You are trying to be confident in your result and you want to show that I am 95% confident of my level of significance is 5%. This is technically is your level of significance, which means this is 0.96, which means that if I use this data B as a proxy for beta, remember this population regression function, this will have 95%, 6% error. So which is not a very good variable. In other words, we no, we could not reject the null hypothesis, if you remember the class note. Don't worry about this one. It's also done at F statistics and it's found out that if I take this, the R square is very low, which means you could not explain anything. At the moment, the adjusted R square is not important because it's only two variable. Uh, and it's saying that if you take this model as a model for your demand, 96% error. So you can see, and there are 13 observations I have mentioned. So if you think about it, if how to run regression, this is very simple. Another way to run is to go there, and that's what I have done. So I have right here, I have says regress, reg, demand, and price. So if I run this command, I'm blocking it and control D. So if I block it and control D, it will automatically show you right here that what I have done. But this time it's showing me that I have done it from the do file. So remember that is difference. So this is here, it was showing here the regress because I done it from the command menu. This is where it is running from the do file. So it says it's using a do file, you got this. But the result is exactly the same. There is no difference. I can add one more variable. In other words, I can put income. Demand is a function of income and price, and I can run another regression. So I say control D, and when I run control D, it's now giving me three coefficients. Coefficient 1, which is price coefficient, and now see The moment I have added a variable, previously it was positive coefficient, now it is a negative variable coefficient. And income has a positive coefficient. So if you remember your standard microeconomics, you expected demand function to be downward sloping. Your income effect or income relationship may be positive or negative. And in this particular case, it is positive. However, if I look at these probabilities, which is level of significance, I still do not see them level of significance less than 5%. This we were looking for less than 5%. And the most important thing for us to understand that obviously R square has gone up, and that has significantly improved this, but it's not a big one, because if you look at this probability F statistics, it's still 72% error if I use it. So what I have shown you is using the do file is that I can actually, instead of writing here in the command, I can write there and keep a record what I have done. Now, this is for you, this is your third lesson. We can come back to the next one in a minute.